Okay, good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the Grand Park Events Center for our event tonight. Our forum will get underway shortly. My name is Marla Ayler, and I joined the board of the Fiscal Conservatives about 1 year ago. I've lived here in Westfield for 20 years. The Fiscal Conservatives are proud to be hosting this event tonight, and we're glad to have you here, as well as all of these candidates. Gentlemen and ladies, if you'd like to, you're welcome to have a seat. It's our hope tonight that the candidates' responses to our questions, which none of them have previewed, will be helpful to you before casting your ballot at the polls on May 7th. First, a few words about fiscal conservatism. Fiscal conservatism is a political and economic philosophy regarding fiscal policy and fiscal responsibility, advocating low taxes, reduced government spending, and minimal government debt. We believe that city activities should be based on that same philosophy. The following statements define our thoughts and goals and are borrowed from the John Locke Foundation. A low tax burden is a hallmark of limited government, and governments that stay within their bounds don't burden their citizens with excessive taxation. Responsible city leaders are also mindful of the unseen costs imposed by arbitrary zoning and land use regulations, and how they confound economic progress. City zoning and land use regulations can be equally arbitrary and capricious. They can treat individuals with similar property very differently, depending on how the land is zoned or based on the arbitrary recommendation of an unelected planning board or city planners. Keeping city government within narrow bounds is difficult. Numerous special interests lobby city council members to expand or adopt their pet projects. City council members are under constant pressure from these powerful special interests and city bureaucrats who have vested interests in maintaining and expanding activities, under their purview. Responsible city leaders recognize and resist these pressures. Council members must constantly rededicate themselves to serving the public by limiting government activities and respecting individual rights. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the founder of the Fiscal Conservatives of Hamilton County, Mr. Bill Smythe.
I'll stay later and sign autographs, except for you, Clifford. All right, I don't actually like these things. My name's Bill Smythe. First of all, thank you all for showing up tonight. As Scott said, I was allowed a one-day pass to come to Westfield. I'm going to be very brief. I didn't even write anything down, which is normally dangerous. We started the Fiscal Conservatives in 2017 because we felt as a group, and we're 7 of us are volunteers, we felt as a group that there was not an active voice in the county to push back against the establishment and the big spending that is going on both in the municipalities and the county level. So we started this organization and we have expanded our membership to include Marla, who, by the way, deserves a hand of applause for all the effort to get this thing together tonight. Our membership includes Ron Thomas from Westfield. You guys don't hold that against us. At the time, we thought he was, knew something. And our treasurer, David Giffords, over here, who's on the Delaware Township Board. So basically, we are all volunteers. We do this out of the love of our community, our counties, our municipalities, and we appreciate everyone else for taking their time to come out tonight and listen to your candidates and make an informed decision. Thank you. Marla, have at it.
Thank you, Bill. I also want to thank Bill for the opportunity to present this debate forum for you tonight because it will allow voters to hear from our candidates. And here are the rules for this evening. Please refrain from any cheering, jeering, or applause during the forum. Water and coffee have been provided for your convenience, and the restrooms are located just outside the door across the hall. As you may now be aware, this event is being broadcast on Facebook Live, and the video will appear on our website soon. We'll upload to YouTube. The rules for engagement this evening are as follows. Introductions drafted from a candidate questionnaire will be made by our moderator. Earlier this evening, the candidates who will be debating drew straws to determine which of them will begin, and I believe that was Mr. Patton drew the short straw. Is that correct? All right. The tallest guy drew the shortest straw from the shortest woman. All right. Sorry, I'm just filling Troy's name in here. All right, so Troy will answer the first question. We're going to do that basically by a number pick. The questions that we have together are 1 through 25, and it literally will be pick a number. As our challenged incumbent counselors some of them have not elected to participate. Those who have a challenger in their district will have the opportunity for rebuttal among one another. They'll have 1 minute. The rest of the candidates will have 2 minutes. They will not all be asked the same question, but as we moved from each district, a new question will be asked. Other than those 2 challengers will be asked the same question. No one should interrupt any candidate at any time. Questions will be asked at random by the schoolyard pick. The categories that we'll be asking from tonight include residential growth, land use and zoning, community engagement, affordable housing, a general questions category, city finances, taxes, financial transparency, and economic development. Following the debate-style questions, all of the candidates, including those who are not challenged and the clerk-treasurer's candidates, will have the opportunity to participate in what we're calling a lightning round. This is a series of fast-paced questions where the candidate must choose from one of 2 answers in just one or 2 words. It's our hope that it will provide insight on the issues in Westfield while giving you a glimpse into the personalities of the candidates as well. Following the lightning round, everyone will then have 2 minutes to provide you with their best elevator speech or closing remarks. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Jimmy Cox. Jimmy is the chairman of the Westfield Young Professionals, which is a division of the Chamber of Commerce. It has been my pleasure to get to know him recently, and as he has significant interest in politics in our community, he seemed like a reasonable person to ask to do this tonight. We are delighted to have him as his moderator for the evening, and I will turn this portion of the evening over to him. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Cox. There's that for you.
All right, is that too loud or is that just perfect? Awesome. As Marla said, my name is Jimmy Cox. My wife and I have been residents of Westfield for over 2 years now. I work at the Purdue Alumni Association and am a proud Boilermaker, graduating in 2009, so boiler up to anybody in the crowd. All right, I see you. I'll be over here at the end, so we'll talk about how to get you guys involved. So that's great. The Fiscal Conservatives of Hamilton County are pleased to welcome all candidates in attendance tonight. So I'm going to read off their introductions, as Marla said earlier, and then we'll get started with the questions. Cindy Spoljaric, who grew up in Munster, Indiana, is our only female council incumbent. She sent her regrets tonight, but has a Janus board meeting among other obligations. She is a 46-year-old mother of 1 son and is serving her 8th year on council. With her husband, Dr. Andrew Spoljaric, they moved to Westfield in 2003. After researching Westfield, according to Cindy, the fantastic schools sealed the deal. Cindy holds a master's degree in urban and environmental planning, considers her council position a full-time job. She enjoys spending time with her family, fiber arts, fishing, boating, gardening, and painting. Next, Troy Patton. He's an at-large candidate. Celebrated his 50th birthday last week, so happy birthday to him. Is married to Kim, and together they have 2 children. Troy grew up in Eaton, Indiana, but the Pattons have called Westfield home since moving to the Woodshire neighborhood 19 years ago. Troy received his Bachelor of Science in Accountancy from Miami of Ohio University in 1992 and has been self-employed for the past 22 years as a certified public accountant specializing in business valuations and investment management. The Pattons were initially drawn to Westfield because of the town and school district. Troy enjoys watching his kids in sports, fishing, and golfing in his free time. Jim Ake, an at-large candidate. Due to scheduling conflict, Jim could not attend tonight. He opted not to return the request for introduction information. Scott Willis in District 1.